Robert Webber was a passenger on Qantas flight QF191, Cairns to Port Moresby. Nothing unusual about that sort of flight, except there was a snake on the plane. Robert, good morning to you.
Yeah, good morning.
Hey, this is a bizarre story.
Yeah, no, it's pretty awesome, isn't it? I mean, it was bizarre it was even more bizarre on the plane.
Well, that's the obvious question. What was your first reaction when you've looked out the window and seen a snake perched on the wing of the aeroplane?
Yeah, we couldn't believe it. We saw the thing moving around. He was trying to get comfortable. I mean, I guess travelling at 400 k's an hour, you want to be sitting pretty comfortable if you're sitting on the wing, holding on for your dear life.
Who was the first to see it, and did they alert the other passengers and the hosties as to what was happening?
Yeah, this lady was sitting in front of me. She saw the body, and then she saw the head, and then what she did, she alerted the cabin crew first, and then they came running over, and then so she just said, "Oh, I think I just saw a head of a snake," and then so this cabin crew came and sat down, replaced her in her seat, and then so they sat down there for a little bit. But you have to look at that area for quite some time before you saw any movement.
Right.
Snakes don't really move, do they?
And what made you first aware of it? Did you actually see the snake itself move?
No, I saw the commotion in front of me, and then that's when everyone popped their head out the window and started looking for the snake, because he was going in and out of that little area where the engine sits underneath the wing.
Yeah.
And then so everyone's looking now, and then all of a sudden you see his head pop out.
And what was the feeling then? You're 33,000 feet in the air, going at 400 or 500 kilometres an hour, and you look out the window, there's a bloody snake on the wing. Like, what was the reaction from the passengers? Was there any sort of concern that snake might in some way impact upon the flight?
Yeah, that was my first thought. Well, it was just, you just can't believe it. Like, what the hell? You got to be joking. What's happening? Like, what's happening? There's a million questions going through your head.
And what's happened to the snake now? Do we know where it is and whether it survived the flight?
Yeah, well, everyone was just egging it on the whole way. It was only the passengers at the back of the aircraft. The guys at the front of the plane didn't know what was happening. But it actually, on land, when we landed and the plane parked at the terminal, it was still moving. The ground crew, the camera. It was still moving, and then it had its last breath, and then it must have died. By that time,
so it did die, Robert.
Yeah, I'm saying it must have died. It would have died. I mean, shit, he got really. I mean, from the video, I recorded the whole thing. When his head got exposed, when we were descending into Papua New Guinea, his head started getting a beating now against the engine of the aircraft.
Right. From
the wind. So I'm guessing it would have died. So, but the funny thing is, on landing, it was still moving. It had its last breath in Papua New Guinea.
Great story. And just finally, what are you doing up in Papua New Guinea, Robert? What takes you there?
Just on a holiday at the moment. I'm surfing up at New Island it's one of the provinces furthest away from the capital of Port Moresby.
Interesting way to start your holiday.
At the moment. Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
All right, you stay safe, and thanks for joining us this morning. Snakes on a plane.